Welcome to another episode of the podcast That's Fine With Me. I wanted to have a week off and I was detoxing from social media. And while I was doing this, another scandal happened. And you probably have already guessed who we're going to be talking about. It's James Charles. And well, you probably saw my thumbnail. I don't really think that I was surprised. No, I'm not surprised when it comes to James Charles. I mean, he filmed how many apologies videos? 10, 15, 20, I don't even know. I can't even count that. And a lot of the times I would say like the industry is so done with James Charles because, well, we kind of know what kind of person he is. He is selfish. I would say he's probably a narcissist. He is self-centered. So it's pretty telling when someone like James Charles is accusing a person in some not even fraudulent, but like grow up and see a real world. That is pretty telling for me because he doesn't really care about people. Do you remember the time when he was complaining about the pedestrians, or at least like the bumps on the streets? He didn't really want to do any of research and find information. Why do we need these bumps? So for like people with certain disabilities, it's the only way to walk around the city all over the world. And he is old enough to know this information, or at least to Google. And now he is telling people that they should have put some energy and effort before DMing him to, like customize the resume or whatever, like donation that they were asking for. So we're going to watch this video real quick, and then I'm going to give you a bit more context.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's the GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job. Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able.
Okay, so, well, yeah. Let's see this from both sides. I know it's gonna sound like devil's advocate. I promise I'm not gonna stay in this position for a long period of time. Of course, clearly he's screaming, he's running, he's literally insulting this person. And, like, the meaning behind this video is pretty much clear. He doesn't want to support this person or help this person because he thinks that this person is capable to find another job. The only reason why I feel like it's a valid point is because I think that if this girl, maybe it's a girl, I don't really know, but I believe he mentioned that this is a female. If this person asked for a job in return, like, I lost my job and I'm struggling, can you please hire me? I'm gonna do like whatever it takes. I need some salary, I'm financially struggling, and that is the main reason why I'm gonna kind of like give my set of skills in return of a salary to provide for my family. I'm struggling right now. Maybe in this context I would have been a little bit more on the side of this person, but at the same time I feel like I don't really know if I support this woman and if I support James Charles. I don't feel like this whole situation is like 100% here and there. I mean, totally I get it that James Charles, he has no right to be mad or angry at someone who actually asked for some, let's say, help, because early days when he was trying to get famous and getting with lots of influencers, he was literally DMing a lot of influencers and asking for, let's say, the little bit of help. So Tati Westbrook, she was constantly promoting James Charles. She was constantly trying to make up some deals for him. And that is the main reason why I feel like this was his way to earn money in the future, to get their influence, to get popularity, and then convert it into money. That is the main reason why I feel like he had pretty much the same thing, except for he didn't ask for money, but he asked for an influence and he asked for recognition. I know that James Charles would probably call it as networking, but like not every single person is going to some influencers DMs and begging for like networking or recognition or some let's do a collab or whatever. That is the main reason why, like, Do you actually think that you have any capacity to do this? I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's untalented or whatever. He is pretty much talented. We know that he can paint really well. He's great at selling people something. Like, we can't deny that. But at the same time, he's constant anger issues. And his constant, I am center of the earth, and how dare you to ask for help? How dare you to do this and that? Well, it's getting pretty much tiring. And I'm going to tell you guys that my way, and I feel like a lot of people, they came out and they said that you could have just deleted this message and that's it. But you went on TikTok page and literally blasted this person and started complaining about people that are bothering you. Welcome to the real world. When was the last time you, James Charles, was in the real world? Because when he was 16 or 17, he got his viral moment, and yeah, I kind of get it. He did it by himself, a sprinkle of luck probably. And then he started bagging other influencers for collabs and recognition and whatever. And they started getting him around the places and networking. And that is the main reason why this is a similar situation to me. And let's be real. When he was screaming, is it necessary to do this type of thing? Like, why do we actually have to witness his annoyance with the real world? I know that when I graduated my university, I was looking for a job and I couldn't get my first ever job for a year. And the only way I got it, I asked my aunt to actually help me out and get me the job. So when I got the job in 3 months, I actually had a nervous breakdown because the person that I worked with was crazy, and not even crazy, but just screaming constantly. So I had to quit. And I spent another year to search for another job, and I applied to multiple companies. I even applied to some volunteer work with no payments whatsoever to work as a magazine assistant, and I was willing to not get paid at all just to get at least some experience. And I had my support as my husband, which I'm super grateful, but not every single person has this opportunity. And I know that the market in 2020 was very shitty, and in 2026 it's much worse. Companies are dying. Companies are not able to fund themselves. They're not able to pay sellers. They're not able to provide for some employees, and they shut down. A lot of the times people find themselves without any type of support when they lose their job, and the money that you have to pay for mortgage, if you have mortgage, or to pay your rent, to pay for food, all of it is very, very tough right now. It always was during COVID, but in 2026, with economy wars and all of this that is happening, it's crazy. And guys, I'm pretty much sure that all of you know this whole situation. Unfortunately, James Charles is living in his bubble where he probably thinks that it's so easy to find a job like that, and that's it. Yes, I do believe that this girl should have probably asked for a job in return, except for just like not asking for money. But at the same time, there's no harm. Just delete this message, and that's it. Just delete this DM. Why would you even talk about this whole situation?
Than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you? Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need to GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed. Doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off.
It hurts because now you pissed me off. Oh, really? So what is it gonna do? Like, if you're pissed off, so what? Are you like a god? Are you like a president? Who are you that we should care that you're pissed off? Well, we do care that you're pissed off, but not in the sense that you're pissed off and we want to protect you at all cost. It's about the fact that we want to stand up for people that lost their jobs and have no food to provide for their families. This is probably the reason why people are so angry with James Charles, because he's not innocent, but he tries to be in a position that I know better. Well, you don't, because you've never been in a real world. You've never had a real job except for content creation. And it is a great job to have. But at the same time, you have a whole team of people that are doing a lot of your job. And I know that, as a matter of fact, a lot of the times, like a former employee actually tried to sue James Charles, and she was complaining that his environment, as he's providing as employer, is not as beautiful and glamorized as he's showing.
Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally going to be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees, and it's going to be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies. Like, go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing!
If we're gonna talk about Mr. Beast, what is so bad to hire people and help them out? I really like his videos, like Mr. Beast's videos, because he's trying to help people in need. What did you, James Charles, did to a society, except for abusing kids? I don't really know. Filming some TikToks. Well, I was subscribed on James Charles in 2020, I believe. Well, after the whole drama moved on, and then later I realized that he was constantly messing with people and with society and with the whole idea in general of like being like not even a kind person but just like a normal person. And he's super entitled, and especially when he was talking about this girl that she is not able to find a job and then she's going straight to celebrities. Maybe she has a mortgage that she has to pay right at the end of the month, and before she gets another payment, well, she at least has to find a job. Then when she gets a job, she has to work at least a week or maybe 2 weeks before she gets her first payment, and she might be financially struggling. And it's actually true. Not every single person has savings in their account that can provide them throughout like month and month of not living and working. Okay, and now we are going to watch his second apology, like first apology, and then we're going to watch the second apology. By the way, I tried to find this apology, but it was deleted. That is the main reason why I'm using some other influencers and some other channels that recorded this video and put this out there.
So I ended up deleting the video that I posted yesterday talking about people who send me GoFundMe links that have never followed, supported, DM me before, just begging for money. And most people were like, enjoying the video, saying it was a valid point, but it definitely started causing some discourse in the comments, and a lot of people were just saying it was out of touch and insensitive, and they're right. It was definitely a harsh choice of words, maybe not my best video, and I deleted it, but of course the internet is forever.
Maybe not my best video. Maybe. And it's always like in the previous video, he's like, if you have some struggles, if you have cancer or something like this, I don't remember, like he was talking about some disease, maybe I would help you if you were my fan. Maybe. So it's always about maybe. It's not reassuring you guys.
And now a lot of content creators are using like the 5-second clip in the very beginning where I'm like, you're a lazy piece of shit, get a new job, to upload their cute little think pieces being like, influencers are all so out of touch. This is so disgusting. You don't know how hard it is in the job market these days. Oh my God, give me a fucking break. I am out of touch, first and foremost, okay? I am never going to be one of those influencers that gets online and pretends to be poor so I can come across as relatable to my audience. I think it's tacky, I think it's annoying, and I also think it's quite insulting to the audience watching, as if you guys are going to be fooled into thinking that.
Well, it's not about the fact that you have to pretend to be poor. He kind of redirected this whole situation into a little bit different path where people are not mad about the fact that he is entitled or just like the fact that he is out of touch. He is out of touch not because of his money and that he has a lot of money. He's out of touch because in a very, very hard economy and in the way where people are losing their jobs and they have no money to provide for their family, he is angry that people are asking for money. Well, I do get different kind of emails where people are asking for a job. By the way, they're asking for a job. If you're hiring, I don't earn money for my channel. I don't. And that is the main reason why I cannot hire anyone, because I don't really get any payments for my channel and I can't afford someone to work for me because I have a fly. So I cannot afford someone to work for me because I cannot afford to get payments for me. And his out of touch behavior is not about his money. It's all about the way that you didn't even have to film this video. it's all about that.
You've been watching me for 10 years now. It's no secret that I have been able to find success doing what I've done. It didn't start that way though. I started from literally nothing and had a dream for myself and was determined to literally do anything to make it happen. And luckily, I've been blessed to be able to do that and now call this my full-time job. The reason I made that video yesterday though was a lot of people these days do not have the make it work mentality. They have no desire to actually put in the effort to try to fix a problem and get themselves out of a situation. They immediately result in asking for help. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for help. In my personal opinion though, it should be a last resort. If you disagree, that's totally fine. That's your personal opinion. I'm not going to apologize for having mine. There's a lot of people responding back to the video being like, oh my gosh, he has no idea how hard the job market is. I've been applying for new jobs for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years now, and I've literally heard back nothing from any of the jobs. I'm sorry that that is happening to people. I know that the job market fucking sucks. I've heard so many horror stories. I can't even imagine what that's like. Those are the people, in my opinion, that are totally valid and asking for help. The person that I made the video about yesterday lost their job last week at Spirit Airlines, along with 17,000 other people. And granted, I don't know this person. Maybe making a GoFundMe link was really their last resort. I just personally did not believe that. This person did not follow me. They have never DM'd me previously. They have never supported me on any social platforms. They have never purchased from Painted. This person was literally just...
He's coming back to like, this person never DM'd me, this person never supported me, why would I support this person in return? Well, charity is most of the time when you help other people without knowing these people. You might know these people for a certain reason, but it's called charity for a reason. And another really, I guess, important thing to say, this video is a little bit different. If he filmed this type of content first without like this bitch and whatever, and she has to grow up and grasp the real world, maybe if he tried to film something like this where he tried to explain his position, when he tries to say that, okay, let's just, you know, customize, we're gonna watch this a little later to solve an issue, I would have probably helped her. I feel like maybe this video wouldn't make so much, like it's not gonna be that big of a deal. But again, this is his second video, and his apology doesn't actually sound as an apology. It's more like, I'm gonna still prove my point, but now I don't want to scream at you, I'm just gonna prove my point. It's given more like that.
Spam copying and pasting this DM to every person that they assumed had money to offer them. And I'm sorry, just because somebody has money does not mean that you're entitled to. I'm sorry if that comes across as insensitive or privileged or mean, but welcome to the real world. It's fucking hard out there. Nobody owes anybody anything. The universe will constantly remind you of that. And a little bit of effort goes a really, really long way sometimes. I stand behind what I said, 10 toes down. Instead of spending an hour copying and pasting the same DM to 100 different celebrities or influencers, you could have spent the same amount of time copying and pasting a job application to hundreds of different companies. Or, hear me out, put in a little bit of effort. If you want to send the DMs, at least spend 20 seconds before you hit send, customizing it to the person that you're asking for money from, right? Hi, sister. James, I've been watching your YouTube videos since I was a teenager. You really taught me how to do makeup and have positively impacted my life every single Friday. Hey, I'm in this shitty situation. Do you think that you could help? Probably would have gone a lot further than a generic message. Or instead of copy and pasting the same job application to hundreds of different companies, send in 10 job applications to companies that you really care about and you think you could fit in with, and then customize your application and your cover letter, letting these recruiters or hiring people know that you're the best candidate for this job and why they should want you on their team.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't really know what is happening on job market, because when he told that he heard about a lot of like horror stories, well, he doesn't really know what is it like to find a job. I mean, I totally get the part where he was explaining how to customize the message to ask for money and donations, but at the same time, the whole thing with like, oh, you should pick 10 of your favorite companies to apply your resume and whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but most of the time it doesn't really work this way. It doesn't. I would say that I try to get, like, I don't know, like my resume, I watched so many different videos with HRs, how they explain how to create your resume in the perfect way, how to make sure that you can highlight your best and positive skill set, and then cover letters. I didn't even spam. I was literally customizing all of my resumes, and I did get, as a matter of fact, I did get a couple of job interviews, but they were not successful because of me or because they had too many other applicants that probably deserved this job as well. And when he was talking about this situation, this person was spamming others and celebrities and generating one message, I kind of get it maybe in a way. And again, if he tried to explain this in the same way as he's doing his first apology video without screaming anger issues, I don't really think it would have been that viral and it wouldn't be that crazy. But when he did, he already rage bait people, and that's really hard to calm people down when people know that you're a shitty person.
I know putting in the extra work and effort probably feels useless when you know that you're in a sea of DMs or job applicants, but trust and believe, as somebody who's now on the other side of things, the little bit of extra effort does go a very long way, and unfortunately, taking the easy route is usually never going to work. That's just my 2 cents. Just a word of advice. You can take it, you can leave it, it's all good. I just wanted to provide some more context on my video yesterday because I do not like how it's being twisted and taken out of context. It was definitely never my intention to undermine anybody who's trying to work and provide a better future for themselves, their family, and their loved ones.
I just don't want you to twist my first video. It's really hard to twist because you literally were screaming at us. And yeah. And then he uploaded another apology video. And here is damage control, in my opinion. And now he was willing to provide donation. So what happened? What really changed? Maybe because you tried to save your face and you faced a backlash and a lot of followers, they unfollowed you. Is it the reason? Let's find out.
I called her lazy, I said she was stupid, and I said she should have spent the time that she spent copying and pasting the message, applying for jobs instead. This video was fucking stupid. It was rude, it was obnoxious, it was privileged, and most importantly, it was completely fucking unnecessary. When I saw that DM, I absolutely had the choice to ignore it and say absolutely nothing at all and move on with my day, but instead, I couldn't even tell you why. Her message just triggered me, and I decided instead to make a video about it. And I bashed her, and it was obnoxious, and I shamed her for asking for help in a situation where she was clearly really struggling, and this could have been her absolute last resort.
And I saw a lot of other influencers saying, maybe this is a wrong person or wrong messenger, because every single time James had to fly a pretty guy that he found attractive, money wasn't an issue. He would literally hire a private jet, or at least provide some trip arrangements for a next candidate and pay for everything, cover everything. But because of a girl, she's a girl, and it somehow triggered him, that was the wrong messenger. And I kind of agree on that.
I have no idea what was going on in her life, and I should have never assumed that she was just copying and pasting this DM as an easy way out. I don't know. I just don't know. My intention behind making this video in the first place was, I get a lot of messages like this every single day. And for me personally, it definitely sucks to receive messages from people that don't follow you and don't support you, treating you like our personal ATM or bank account. But what I'm sure sucks even fucking more is not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from and not being sure whether or not you're going to be able to put food on the table for yourself and your family. So it really doesn't matter what my intentions were behind making the video, because it came across as super fucking privileged and like I was basically shaming anybody that's unemployed for not trying hard enough to get a job.
He's constantly coming back to this, people, they don't follow me, they don't support me. Like, let's talk, James, for a second about real world. Most of the time, people there don't really care about you. You're not the person that has to be cherished and loved by every single person. This is, yeah, it probably was a scammer or like a spam, or I don't know. People, they do ask for help. They do ask for money. They do. And to create it as around you, like, oh, this person doesn't follow me, why should I? You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Just delete this message. Why are you in your DMs? This is, a lot of people mentioned that he's in DMs because he's probably looking for a guy that he's going to be willing to sponsor in the future. I'm not saying it's true, and I'm speculating right now, but at the same time, it might be true, because a lot of the times that was true.
And I feel awful because that wasn't my intention, and it really hurt a lot of people. And I know that it's not that easy. I know that the job market fucking sucks right now. I have friends that are looking for jobs. I have my own employees that I try my best to take care of. And I've heard so many fucking horror stories online of companies ghosting people, recruiters wasting everybody's time, people applying for job after job and not hearing back for 6 months, a year, 2 years.
He was literally shaming every single person who's not trying so hard. Because in his previous apology videos and in his first ever video about this whole idea that if you don't put enough effort and then you don't, let's say, select your favorite 10 companies that you really want to work for, then you're not working harder and you're not doing enough. But it's not always the case. It's just not. Most of the time, how the market is working right now, a lot of the times companies, they're posting some different positions, and these positions, they're not even looking for those positions. First and foremost, they're trying to keep the market on the same level, and they try to make sure that the salaries they're showing in their positions, they're going to be at a like medium base, and they don't have to get higher payments, when other companies, when they see, I guess, this average salary, they're not gonna make it higher or lower. So it's gonna be like a standard base for salaries, and that's why how they can control the market in the way of payments. And at the same time, the second thing that is really important is most of the time these positions are ghost positions, because sometimes stakeholders, they can see that the company is struggling. If they have no positions, they have no money to pay their employees, and that's how they try to show that everything's fine, the company is fine, and they have positions, opening positions, and that is the main reason why they have finances and they're not struggling. Because I actually saw a couple of guys, they were saying that they tried to fill in the position of a cart collector in the supermarket, and when they came there, they said, we're not hiring, this position is just there as a ghost position, that we're looking for people, but we don't have a budget for people. And that is scary, honestly, that even some position that doesn't require a lot of experience or doesn't require some higher education, even these positions are not available for at least some period of time. If you're looking for some position in the future, this is not even going to help you out in some moments when you literally have to provide for a family and some food. That is scary.
And that most people are just doing their best and trying their best to figure it out and to make it by. And if this person happened to choose sending out GoFundMe links as their method of trying to make it by, who am I to judge? Especially when you consider the fact that my method of figuring it out and getting by was making makeup videos online. I just happened to get really lucky, and now, years later, I'm in a blessed and privileged position. But as somebody with a platform, it's my responsibility to humble myself and to never take what I have for granted. And when I made that video today, that is exactly what I did. I was speaking from a very privileged, obnoxious, ignorant standpoint, and for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly and
I believe give a donation or something like this. I don't know, because I don't really, the video was cut down. That is interesting, because I feel like that was a huge backlash, and now he's saying whatever people are saying in their comment section. And yes, people are so tired. I guess maybe if it happened 3 or 4 years ago when economy was still really bad, but at least people were not in this crazy position as it is right now, 2026, maybe, no, okay, let's call it maybe 6 or 7 years ago, when the market was more or less stable, more or less. And right now, people, they can't even buy food. It is extremely expensive, and that is the main reason why I would say his video triggered so much people, as well as Michaela when she did this huge haul with luxury products, and people were triggered, as well as so many other influencers and title influencers that are sharing some very expensive hauls, and people are very, very sad, especially like Jacqueline Hill and her always very big parties and whatsoever. People don't really know how to what they're gonna eat today, and they're showing their privilege. And I don't know, it's good that he said that, but I don't really think it's coming from his real heart. I feel like he was humbled by the comments and the amount of followers that are following him. And here is the video where James Charles is looking for a person. And when he was talking in his apology video, he takes a great care of his employees. Let's watch what kind of care he takes of his employees.
I'm going to be hiring somebody new to my team soon, and I'm just starting the process of looking for this candidate now. I figured I would make a video about this just in case the right person happens to be watching, or if you know somebody that you think is the right person, feel free to send them this video or send them my way. I am looking to hire a personal James Charles, basically like social media content creator assistant, somebody that loves vlogs, somebody that loves TikTok, that loves the For You page, that is super tapped into pop culture.
And most definitely loves James Charles. Loves James Charles. That is the most important criteria in this whole thing.
That I can bring around with me for the next couple of months to make sure that everything going on in my life is fully documented. I have a lot of really exciting projects coming up, a lot of big changes happening in my personal life and my business life, and I want to make sure that my audience is properly taken along on that journey with me, and I need somebody to help me do that, because I need to focus on the business side of things while somebody else helps me to focus on the content creation. So I'm talking somebody that can help me film vlogs, somebody that is with me, especially with this music project getting ready to release, that can help me come up with video ideas for promoting songs. Basically somebody that is like helping me think of what content I should be posting on the James Charles channels. This would not be painted oriented. However, if this person joined the team and did an incredible job, I would love for this person to be able to grow with me and, you know, my other brand.
I believe what you have to do is to make sure that you're going to do the entire content creation for James Charles and film him, edit, upload, answer some comments while he's going to be doing some business side. And at the same time, you're probably in the future might grow with him. I remember some scandal recently where he was in a conflict situation with his former employee, and she said like he was super lazy. She had to literally wake him up, make him go and film a video, then she would edit and upload, and she was underpaid. That's what she said. I tried to find this video, but I couldn't. Maybe you can send me a link.
In the future, it would be a full-time paid salary. Of course, we take very good care of our employees over here, and if you think that you'd be great at this, if you are, you know, 21 plus, living in LA, preferably a girly or a gay, pop culture obsessed, FYP addicted. I also forgot to mention this earlier, but I'm going to insert a clip now. You have to be funny. That is like literally the most important quality that I'm looking for in this candidate. You have to be funny. I want to giggle. I want to have a great time with whoever.
I want to giggle. I want to have a great time when I'm working. So you have to be funny. You have to love James Charles. You have to edit. You have to film. You have to provide some content creation for him. You have to maybe grow up with him in the future. Just you have to do a lot of things, but he's not telling how much he's going to pay, and he's not going to tell you how much you're going to work in terms of hours. Maybe it's just going a little bit deeper later, but let's see what is his response to those who applied.
Does Gen Z genuinely not know how to use critical thinking skills? Like, do we not know how to solve problems or follow instructions?
If I'm mistaken, he's Gen Z. Yeah, if I'm mistaken, James Charles is Gen Z, but okay.
I want to blow my brains out. Yesterday, I posted a video on this account about how I'm hiring some new positions to my team, specifically a social media content creation assistant. It's literally like a 2-minute video, and it couldn't be clearer as to the qualifications and what this role would be doing on my team. And then I specifically explained how to apply. I said, if you think you're qualified, if you think you'd be great for this job, here's the email address to reach out to that me and my team are going to be looking through. Include your resume and attach an application audition video. I said, tell me your name, tell me why you think you'd be good for the job, send any examples of previous work that you've done, and include 3 ideas of what you would do if you were running my social account. I think I got 276 applications in total.
276. So he's literally counting. And it tells me a lot that he is actually very self-conscious about his DMs. He's literally going through his DMs. He's literally counting the amount of, like emails that he got. It's really interesting. It's really interesting that the person, he's literally just like has millions of followers, millions of people following him. I don't even know how many emails I get from other people that are asking for a job, or they're asking for like some collaborations or whatever. And I don't really get ton of them. I get maybe 1 or 2 in a week, or maybe in weeks. And of course I get some spam, but I don't really count them.
Which I was thrilled about this morning. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have so much fun looking through these. Like, I'll have so many great candidates. I can't wait. This decision's going to be so hard. No. Unfortunately, I was terribly wrong. terribly wrong. Because out of 276 candidates, I think 13 of them actually attached an application video as I requested. Mind you, as I was describing what to put in the application video, I put text specifically on the screen saying applications without a video attached will not be considered. Imagine my smile going to a frown this morning as I had to literally delete over 260 emails.
What is the problem? A lot of the times HRs, they're posting some positions. Okay, let's call them positions. And I see that they get over like 400, sometimes 500 different resumes. And you can see this different types of platforms. They can show you how many of these resumes were applied, or how many people applied. And there are over like 400 or 500 different applicants that were looking for a job. And I would say that probably out of 400, most likely 10 or maybe 15 resumes, they're going to be decent. The others, they're probably are not meeting the requirements. What is so crazy about that? It's again showing that he's out of touch and he doesn't even know how this works. Because if you ever was looking for a job, you know that out of like 1,000 different applications, there are only maybe 10 or 15 that are more or less qualified to get an interview, a job interview.
Worse, my favorite applicant of all of them submitted examples of their work, submitted their social accounts, and they seemed really great. I thought that they could be perfect for the job, but they didn't even attach the fucking audition video, the only instruction that they were meant to follow. Like, do I even give him an actual interview? Or do I delete the application like I said I was going to?
Another question, if they had to send an email, sometimes I know there's a problem with videos. Sometimes you just cannot attach videos, and maybe that was a problem because the email or some kind of like, I believe some emails that you're sending, I tried to send some videos through email and you cannot. I don't know if there was a specific mail that was provided, because most of the time, like, you have to use Google Disk to provide this video and then send a link to this Google Disk.
Oh my God, it's fucking crazy. Even worse, there were so many girly pops that were commenting on yesterday's video being like, oh my God, me, I think I'd be amazing for this. And when I looked through their social accounts, I was like, yeah, honestly, a lot of you guys could be great for this. So I started going through and liking their comments and commenting back to some of the girlies being like, oh my God, yes, like, can't wait for you to apply. Yes, send in your application. Can't wait to see what you come up with. I can't even tell you how many of those girly pops then went and messaged me saying, hi, James, I saw your comment. Where do I apply? Oh my God, great question. Where do you apply? You fucking don't, because you're fired.
I wish, I mean, certain videos, when we were talking about lip labs, I was serious and I was angry sometimes because they were responding in a weird way. But every single time I'm watching James Charles and his rant, I'm like, is he really serious? He's really serious. It's not a big deal. He's making a big deal out of nothing. Yeah, people asked, do not answer. This is exactly the same problem that is happening over and over and over again. And do you know how many times I filmed a video where I said, like, I always list some products under my full videos, not in my shorts, but most of the time under the full videos, I actually upload and write down all the products. And a lot of the times people are going to ask me in the comment section, like, what is the color or what is the shade of this lipstick? What is the name of the palette? And if I would answer the same way as James Charles every single time, like, check my description box. Oh my God, are you kidding me? And be annoyed with people for asking, what is so big deal? Most of the time, I just copy the name from a description box and I send this out to this person. It's not a big deal, literally. And maybe it is for him.
You're not getting the goddamn job because clearly you have zero critical thinking skills, zero intuition, zero ability to problem solve, and now you're annoying me.
And again, now you're annoying me. You're constantly annoying him. In the video where he was complaining about this woman, it's like, you piss me off. Now you piss me off, and now I'm annoyed. And if I'm annoyed, it's bad. And now you're annoying me again. You're always annoying James Charles. What is a big deal to watch a video and do exactly how he tells people to do? Maybe because not every single person is going to do what you said, but it literally makes your job easier. If we're going to, talk about critical thinking, if you had 260 applications or emails full of diversity, full of very beautiful videos, full of skills and whatsoever, it's going to be really tough to pick one that suits you perfectly. And out of like 260 people and applicants, at least 13, as he mentioned, were qualified more or less to do this job. That is the main reason why what is so bad. If you got only 10 people and they were all not qualified, that would be the problem. But when you know that there are probably some people without any video or whatever attachments, then maybe it just literally made your job easier because you have no struggles to choose one out of 260 perfect candidates. How about that? It's just a little bit different take. And if you try to see only bad side and pessimism and all of it, well, you're going to end up with all of this screaming constantly on your followers. And let's go back to this whole situation about the market problem, about companies and customization, whatever. I get it that it's really hard. I get it. It's really hard to find a good person to fill out the job. But at the same time, as someone mentioned, your audience is most likely someone like 12 or 13 years old. What do you expect from them? Most of them are probably just asking this random questions in the comment section, and they're most likely under 21, and they're not qualified at this point. They're probably 18, though I don't really understand why the age has to be like 21. You're gonna get a job if you're 18 easily.
How do you apply? Girl, follow the instructions that were clearly lined up for you in the video that you commented on. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I want to defend our generation so badly because I think some of us are so creative and so innovative, but like, this makes it so fucking hard. Ah!
Okay, and he wanted to defend the generation, but he's constantly screaming at Gen Z and this generation. So what I'm going to say, guys, is if you ever had a chance to work for James Charles, I wouldn't choose this job for multiple reasons. But if he's getting heated up or so angry about just a simple email that wasn't correctly filled, then can you imagine what is going to happen to you or like any of you if you actually mess up a little bit, which really happens. Mistakes, they do happen. Or if something happens and you're not going to be able to have a sick leave or just like any other issues, normal human issues. And I don't really think that James Charles is going to take your side. I feel like you're going to be fired within like one day and he's not going to have any remorse or regrets. And at the same time, due to every single rant and his screaming and whatsoever, it's pretty obvious that he's not going to be the best employer. And I have my doubts that he's going to give you very high payments. One thing, when he is spending his money on some boys or some like his hobbies or whatsoever, and other thing when he has to pay someone, because we clearly can see that donations to trigger him, and then previous former guest employees said that they were underpaid, and then he gets heated up crazy fast. So my point in this whole situation, maybe just don't apply. And that's going to be the best situation. I know that all of these topics, they're not laughable, they're not I shouldn't smile or giggle or whatever, but like every single time watching this, I feel like people are still surprised. Or he's still surprised that he's doing this type of shit. I don't know, maybe I'm not. It says a lot about the person that he's not interested in making himself better. He's more interested in fame, in being popular, in being, I guess, like the best in the world. I don't know. It's just a self-centered person. And what do you expect from a narcissist? Nothing. Probably nothing. In my opinion, you expect something like this over and over again. That is the main reason why I don't understand why people are still supporting him. But this is none of my business, honestly. If people, they want to support him, this is their conscience decision. And probably they're laughing all the time when he's like filming another weird rant, which is super irrelevant. But I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to see you in the next podcast. That's fine with me. I love you all so much. Till next time. Bye-bye.